Hi everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. So in my on my Facebook, I had mentioned that my next video was going to be about um, different ways to purchase a home. It's not going to look the same for everybody. Um, a lot of times we mostly advertise, your traditional single family tract homes. But there's so many other options to buy. It doesn't have to be a tract home community. So that's what I'm going to go through tonight. I wrote down my list so that I don't forget any. So I'm going to be checking off as I go. So first I'll start with tiny homes. Tiny homes are great options for those that are minimalist. If you don't have a whole lot of stuff in your house, you like, clean, just minimal, just not no clutter, not a bunch of big furniture, and just stuff. Tiny home is great for you. If you like, cozy, if you don't want a huge house, maybe it's just you and you don't want a huge house, you can still own it. You don't have to stay in an apartment just because you don't want a huge house. That's what tiny homes are for, and you own it. It's yours, and you're not connected to anybody. You're not sharing walls with anybody. And then, as time passes and you grow out of it, or you need to relocate, you can always use it, convert it into an investment property and rent it out. Short-term rentals, long-term rentals. Short-term rental meaning your Airbnbs, your Verbos. Long-term is, your traditional 12-month, 24-month lease. So the thing about tiny homes is that they are building them so nice now. Like, I've seen some, they have the vinyl floorings, they have the island kitchens with the granite countertops or quartz countertops. You've got your full-size washer and dryer. You're not missing anything. Everything is there. It's just smaller. And some people are okay with that. So tiny homes are a great option for you. It's a win-win. It's yours. You're not connected to anybody, and you can turn it into bankroll once you move out. It's great for those that like cozy, don't want a whole lot to maintain. And it's also great for those that travel a lot for work. You're hardly ever home, so why pay for a huge house that you're never there to enjoy? Tiny home gives you a place to sleep, wash your shower, wash your clothes, cook. You got your full-size kitchen. Everything is there. So and you're in the comfort of your own home whenever you are in town. So that's a great option for those that travel a lot, and or the minimalists that don't want a huge home to maintain. Townhome is another good option. Now, my last video was all about townhomes, strictly about townhomes, so I'm not going to talk too much about townhomes here. If you want to know more, go to that video and listen to that one. But townhomes are great. Another great transition from an apartment. There's different types of people. Some people just don't want to be bothered with neighbors. They want to be left alone. They don't want to be close to neighbors. And then you have some people that feel like they want to feel safe. They'll feel safer if they are closer to a neighbor. Sometimes it's more like a safety thing. They'll feel safer if they're closer to neighbors in case something happened. They're not just out in the middle of nowhere and nobody knows what's going on with them. So some people choose to, they feel more comfortable living closer to neighbors. So townhome is a great option for that. It's not so many of you. It's not a whole apartment building, but you're still connected to somebody. And it's also low maintenance because You don't have to maintain the exterior of the home. That's why the HOA is so high in townhomes, because they maintain the exterior. A lot of them maintain the front yard. Some don't, but some do. But the building, the structure itself, the exterior, the management company maintains that. When it's time to paint the outside, they paint it. Any roof issues, they cover it. So that's not something you have to worry about. I know a lot of people, especially young first-time buyers, are afraid to buy a house because they're like, oh, well, what if the roof, because that's like the most expensive, a lot of times the most expensive thing. What if when it's time to change the roof? When you're in a townhome, you don't have to worry about that, because your roof is shared with your neighbor. They don't expect you to pay for a new roof. Management company takes care of that. So townhome is a great option. Now, another big fear about people purchasing townhomes is, oh, I can't see myself, being attached to anybody. I don't want to hear no noise. You can't control your neighbors. Listen, I hear this and I read this a lot. Here's the thing about townhomes. I explained this in my last video, so I'm not gonna go too far into detail. But the way townhomes are built now, they're not like that. Just watch that video and you'll see, you'll understand what I mean. When you go shopping for a townhome, if they're empty, they're vacant, brand new, you go in one unit, have somebody else go in the unit that's attached to you. Both of y'all just yell, jump, and scream, and see how much you can hear. Do that test before you buy your townhome. But yes, so townhomes are a great transition into home ownership from an apartment or rental into your own home. It's not so much maintenance, so you don't have to worry about too much. Single family home. Now, there is going to be some maintenance involved in a single family home. You are responsible for that entire house, inside out, your lawn, front and back. But some people are ready for that. Some people aren't scared of it. It's all worth it when it's your own. When it comes to single family homes, there's so many different things to consider when you're buying a house. I won't go through every single item on this video, but if we have a phone consultation and we're buying a house, I'm working with you to buy a house, I'm going to help you know what to consider when purchasing your house, things to think of. But single family home, you're looking at 2-story, single story. The biggest thing about choosing between a single story and a 2-story, a lot of people like 2-story because they like to have their game room and they like the separation. But it just depends on where you are in life. If you're of age, there's something to consider, because you got to think about as you get older, or you have you start having these knee pains and back pains. Are you going to be going up and down stairs? Are you going to be able to? Another thing to consider about 2-story homes, if you have family, older, elderly family that comes to visit you, do they have a guest room downstairs? Do you have the master bedroom downstairs? Do you have a guest room downstairs? How's the bathroom? Do you have a step-in shower, walk-in shower? Or is it a tub? If it's, someone that's elderly, they may not be able to bend their knees that much to step into a tub. So, they like to have walk-in showers. And it should be downstairs. If their knees aren't good enough to step into a tub, going up some stairs, maybe even harder, so just things like that to consider. I had a neighbor when I was in Vegas across the street from me. Him and his wife, they were a little bit of age, and they decided to buy this 2-story home as their forever home. Uh, brand new home, but not even 2 years later, they had to sell it because the wife had knee surgery. Their bedroom was upstairs. Um, there was a guest room downstairs, but the master bedroom was upstairs. After her knee surgery, she couldn't go up the stairs anymore, so she couldn't sleep in her bedroom anymore. She had to sleep downstairs in the guest bedroom. Well, the husband didn't like that. You know, they did it for as long as they could take it, but they ended up having to sell their home so that they could find, a home that's more functional for her new situation. A good friend of mine, her grandmother had to come live with her, but there were no rooms downstairs for her. She was in her 80s, so can you imagine her having to go up and downstairs every day? So just things like that to consider. And you have, if you have your elderly family members come visit you, are you gonna have them going up and downstairs, or do you have a guest bedroom downstairs for them? So things like that, just consider that. Another thing about 2-story and single story, because single story homes, everything is on one level, those homes are built out, like they're wider to fit all the rooms on one level. 2-story homes are built up, so you've got, the rooms stacked on top of each other. So the lots tend to be larger on single family homes because the footprint is wider, so the lot has to be larger. So that, that plays a part in the pricing, because of course a larger lot is gonna cost more money. So just things like that to consider when you're looking at your single family homes. In that tract community is, people normally call them like cookie cutter homes. The thing I like about here in Houston, the way they build is most of our communities are built with multiple builders, not just one builder. And the reason they do that is because they want to kind of break up the monotony. They put in 2, 3, 4, 5 different builders in one community, helps it, prevent it from looking like that cookie cutter, because they all have different styles. They have different colored bricks, they have completely different elevations, and in tract communities, they are limited to, which floor plans they can put on which lots. So you would not see 2 of the same floor plans next to each other or directly across from each other. So that they're strategic about how they place the homes here so that it's not so cookie cutter. So that's one thing to know about tract homes. The other thing about tract homes, yes, they are HOA. We have a love-hate relationship with HOA. We all do, including me. The HOA has their restrictions and their guidelines for how they want the community to look and be kept. So sometimes the rules can get annoying, but they force you to maintain your home and, keep it looking uniformed and presentable. That's why so many HOA communities hold their value, because the residents are forced to properly maintain their home. Now there are some people that are just 100% against HOA, and that's fine. There are non-HOA communities out there. Some of HOA communities do not look, too nice. Some of them you will see, the orange house or the purple doors, or 6 broke down cars in the yard, stuff like that. HOA does not allow. Foil paper in the windows, sheets hanging in the windows. HOA don't allow it. But some people are comfortable living like that, so they choose to live in non-HOA communities. And to each his own. So, but do not Do not move into an HOA community and complain about every little thing. You know what you're getting into. So if you don't like rules, please don't move into a HOA community, because the Facebook group ain't gonna want to hear it. So that's your tract home. Now, you can also buy single family homes on acreage properties. Now, acreage properties, they're at least an acre or larger, and they're, you know, this huge piece of land with a house, and because the lot is so big, the neighbors are spread out much further. So you talk about privacy, that's where you're gonna get it at when you get into them acre lots. Acre lots are, some of them are in HOA communities, but the HOA and acre lot communities are not as restrictive as tract home communities. And it's because they have so much land. So if a person buys a house with this much land, it's because they need it, you know. They probably have 3 or 4 trailers that they need to park. So you got more freedom in in an acreage community. What else? Pricing on acreage property depends on where you buy. Depends on location, you know, and depends on the level, quality, or age, you know, of the home that's on the property, and the size of the home. You can buy a huge house on a huge property, or you can buy a small house on a huge property. So pricing is a lot of times is, you know, based on that level of home that you have, and the location. Another type of home that's, you know, trending now are the barndos, the barndominiums. I like barndos. You know, you mostly see, I used to only see them out in, you know, rural parts of town, but I'm starting to see them building like that container type home in the city now. Especially in Edo, where they're building up East Downtown. They're building some container homes there, and I think it's cool. So that's another option to look into. Everybody don't have to buy the, you know, brick house, brick or siding. Container homes and barndos is a completely different look, completely different feel. You get more of that like farmhouse feel in a barndo and a container home. So that's another option to look into. You know, if you want to be unique. Now, location. You can buy in the city, or you can buy in the outskirts, you know, in the suburbs. Again, completely different feel. City, a lot of people choose city living because they don't like to be out in the suburbs or outskirts, far away from everything. They want to be in the mix, you know. They want to be maybe walking distance to everything, or just don't want to, you know, have to do a 30-45 minute drive when they want to go into the city. Some people just want to already be in the city. It can be, you know, congested, a lot of traffic, but a lot of people don't mind that. And then you have some people like me that want to live out in the country and don't want, you know, I just want peace. I like living out here with the horse and the cows and the goats, the donkey. I like living out here. I can drive into the city whenever I feel like it, whenever I want to, and then bring my butt back home. So that's something to consider. Where do you want to live? What's your lifestyle? Out in the outskirts, you're gonna have, you're gonna get more for your money. You're gonna have the larger homes. You're gonna have the larger lots. Good schools. Most parts of town, you'll have the lower tax rates. And you know, just an all-around more peaceful living environment. you know. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Like I said, I don't know if it's an age thing, but at this point in my life, I like living out peaceful. I'm not a club person, so I don't need to be out in the city, every evening or every weekend. So I don't need to be that close to the city. I go into the city when I feel like it. So just depends on where you are in life and what your preference is. It's all preferential. In the city, the homes are not going to have huge lots. You're going to get those huge lots on the outskirts. And some people are okay with that. If you don't want a huge yard to maintain, you will love the city because you won't get a whole lot of yard in the city. Even if you buy a townhome, townhomes come with backyards, believe it or not. Yes, they do. They're gated. You get private backyard. They're not huge though, but it's just enough. Like if you have a pet, let your dog run around for a little bit without getting hit by a car. So it's not a whole lot of maintenance when you buy a house in a city. So that's just, your preference. Do you like city or do you like outskirts? Houston also has coastal. We've got coastal living. So that's going to be over on your southeast side of Houston. That's where the Gulf Coast is. And it's a completely different feeling than living in North Houston or West Houston. It feels completely different. I live out west. When I drive over to the east side, it feels so different. Like it's coastal. It's the coastal life. So some people are looking for that. We got it. We have coastal living. And I like to drive over there to visit. I couldn't live there, and the reason why is because it's so close to the coast. So it's Hurricane Alley, and I don't want to have to worry about that. I'm from Miami. I grew up in hurricanes all my life. That type of weather. I don't want to do it anymore, especially now that I have a home. I don't want to have to worry about all that stuff. That much hurricane preparation. And having to file insurance claims, and that's a lot. But some people love it and they're willing to take that risk just to live the coastal life. Totally preferential. But yes, we have it. We've got lakes. We've got that. We've got Galveston. Southeast is what, about an hour away from Crystal Beach. So if you're a water person, it's there. Manufactured homes. Now, people used to call manufactured homes mobile homes, trailer parks. Today, they're manufactured homes. Okay. They're built a lot different now. They're not your typical trailer park, manufactured homes. They're pretty, they're nice now. I've seen some triple wides that when you're inside, they've got the tray ceilings and just beautiful fixtures and finishings, and you wouldn't know that you were inside of a manufactured home. The way that they're building them now, they're nice. They're modern, So if you're into manufactured homes, that's an option for you too. We have some nice manufactured home builders here, and they take the absolute pride in building those manufactured homes. So that's an option for you too. We can assist you with the whole setup, with getting your utilities hooked up and everything. So that's an option for you. Now there's a community in South Houston that on the outskirts that it's a manufactured home community. It has a pool, a clubhouse, and everything. Okay, they are fancy. So that's an option for you if you're open to that. If that's something that you're into, I can help you purchase a manufactured home. They're nice. I can't even lie. I've seen some nice ones. Land. You can also buy land. You can buy land and do what you want with it. You can do a custom build home on the land. You can do a manufactured home. You can put a manufactured home on your land. You can put tiny homes on your land. Now I want to say this about custom home. There's a difference between building a custom home and just new construction home. New construction home in the tract community is not the same as a custom home. I had a client that was just pissed because she thought she was about to go into Beazer and just completely, you know, come up with her own blueprint, and it don't work like that. So there's a difference between buying new construction and building a custom home. When you're buying new construction, you go into the builder's office. They have a bunch of different floor plans that you choose from. They're already, you know, pre-planned. You just pick the one that you like that will work for you, and that's what they build. Now, once you get into those upper price points, I've seen where they will do like semi-custom. They will allow you to make some changes, but you got to be up there in the, you know, in like the luxury home price point. I've seen some semi-custom, but a true custom home is when you have an architecture do a floor plan for you. They sit down with you and y'all develop this whole blueprint of how you want your house to flow. And then you take that blueprint to a builder, a custom builder, and say, I have my lot. I want you to build this house on this lot. So that's a true custom build. Now you could either bring your own blueprint, or they have some floor plans that you can choose from. They allow you to customize that floor plan. They already have a floor plan, but you say, I don't want the bedroom on that side, I want it on that side. Could we move this bathroom? Could we do this? Make the porch bigger, make the porch smaller. You can do all of that when you're building a true custom home, but not in a new construction home. So those are you know, a few different ways that you can buy a home. Now, as far as the land, you can't just go close your eyes and, you know, pick a plot of land. You have to know, one, what's your purpose for the land? What are you going to be using it for? You have to know about the utilities. Do you need, you know, septic? Do you need, is there already electricity installed? All of that is things you have to know when you're purchasing land. So I can, you know, walk you through all of that if you want to purchase land. On that land, if you're not ready to build your home, your custom home on that land, you can put a manufactured home there until you're ready to build, or you can buy you an RV and park your RV on that land. I've also seen some communities in South Houston and also out west, like an hour west of Houston. There are RV communities, and again, they have the community pools, the fitness centers, and you know, the clubhouse and all of that. So there's just so many different ways that, you know, you can purchase. It does not have to be an attract home community. Now, I can't help you buy an RV. That's not real estate. But that's just to help you realize what you can do with land. You know, you can buy land without building a house immediately. So I hope all of this information is helpful. And if anything that I said in specific drew your attention, and you would like to know more and speak more in detail, please feel free to contact me. All my social media, my email is down below. Don't be shy. Please feel free to reach out and say, hey, Angie, I saw your TikTok and your YouTube, and I just got some questions about something you said. no problem. Let's schedule a phone call and, you know, discuss any questions you have, and I can always provide more information. So, oh, I forgot to mention about the farm and ranch. We have a lot of farm and ranch land here too. So if you're into that, we got it. We've got any type of living you can think of is here in the Houston area. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope y'all found this information helpful, and I hope that it gave you something to think about. And so, you know, we can discuss further in detail if you got any questions. Thank y'all for watching, and thank you for listening. Please share and subscribe. I appreciate it. Until next time.